The socialist president of Colombia, Gustavo Petro, initially blocked the deportations flights from the United States. President Trump, in return, threatened Colombia with massive tariffs. So the president made a massive U-turn by surrendering to the deportation flights. But now things are again kicking off. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2CTV, your global news channel. This is still a live, ongoing development. Things are changing rapidly. But we're going to give you guys the latest updates on what is going on in the US, well, between the US and Colombia. Now, the socialist government in Colombia, and also the Mexicans as well, decided yesterday and today to announce that they are going to be blocking the deportations from the US. They don't want their people back, right? So obviously the Americans decided to go hardcore because Trump's policy is F around and find out. So let's give you guys the latest developments because everything is changing as we speak. So if you're watching this live, things are changing. If you're watching this tomorrow, next week, it's probably already changed again. Obviously, Trump announced, and Tom Homan, that mass deportations are starting and have started. We had the initial reaction. The Mexican government said we would block these flights. So obviously Trump threatened them. But the Mexican government were not the only ones. You also have Gustavo Petro, the president of Colombia, who, by the way, in this picture, as you can see, wearing the Palestinian flag around his... it's not even a scarf. I think it's part of his outfit. Yeah, for the record, Petro is not the president of Palestine, so I'm not really sure why he's doing that. We know why he's doing that. So the far left government in Colombia decided to basically say, no, we don't want our people back. Then things kicked off from here. So Gustavo Petro said a migrant is not a criminal. They are if they break the law and enter a country illegally, you idiots. And must be treated with the dignity that a human being deserves. You're literally a socialist, you weirdo. He says, that's why I turned back the US military planes that were carrying Colombian migrants. I cannot allow migrants to remain in a country that does not want them. What? But if the country sends them back, it must be with dignity and respect for them and for our country. We will receive our fellow citizens on civilian planes without treating them like criminals. And then this is where it got weird because they're like, well, okay, civilian planes, you're going to pay for it? It's like, no, but it's not up to us. It's up to the Americans. You can't catch them. You have to put handcuffs on them and put them on the plane. So the Colombians said, we don't want them anyway. And then the Americans were like, okay, it's time to escalate. President Trump decided to say this. I was just informed that 2 repatriation flights from the United States with a large number of illegal criminals were not allowed to land in Colombia. This order was given by Colombia's socialist president Gustavo Petro, who is already very unpopular amongst his people. Petro's denial of these flights has jeopardized the national security and public safety of the United States, so I have directed my administration to immediately take the following urgent and decisive retaliatory measures. Are you ready? Okay. What did Trump say? Emergency 25% tariffs on all goods coming into the United States. In 1 week, 25 tariffs will be raised to 50%, although that doesn't apply to the cocaine coming from Colombia because that doesn't go through the customs. So don't worry about that if you're using cocaine in America. A travel ban and immediate visa regression on the Colombian government officials and all allies and supporters. That includes Venezuela and the others. Visa sanctions on all party members, family members and supporters of the Colombian government, enhanced customs and border protection inspections of all Colombian nationals and cargo on national security grounds, i.e. EPA, Treasury, banking and financial sanctions to be fully imposed. He finished by saying that these measures are just the beginning. We will not allow the Colombian government to violate its legal obligation with regards to acceptance and return of the criminals they forced into the United States. Then, instantly, and by the way, I'm going to give you the context of how this was happening. When the war started, basically, between the Colombians and Trump, where Trump was, what Trump was up to, you're going to want to know. It's kind of funny. But instantly, we had this letter from the government of Colombia. Everything changed. So the beginning part of it is saying the government of Colombia confirms its participation in the CELAC, which is at the end of January to 30th of January with all the other countries in South America. But then it said, in preparation for this summit, discussions have been held with Honduras, the country presiding obviously over CELAC, to promote regional approach to migration. At the same time, the government of Colombia, under the direction of President Gustavo Petro, has made the presidential plane available to facilitate the dignified return of Colombian nationals arriving early in the morning on deportation flights. This measure reflects the government's commitment to guaranteeing dignified conditions. Under no circumstances will Colombians, as patriots and bearers of rights, be abandoned or exiled from Colombian territory. Hang on. Are you now claiming the illegal migrants who left your country to go to America and break the law by illegally entering it? They are patriots? They are Colombian patriots that they need dignity? If they are patriots, why did they run away from the country? Dignified return, dignified. So that happened, but then, it didn't end here, and it's still ongoing, by the way. So essentially, the Colombians surrendered. Trump took it further. Continued to poke the bear, and now we have retaliation. Donald Trump, President Trump, decided to post this AI-generated picture of himself. Gangster, absolute gangster, with the sign, F around and find out. Now, when this happened, over the last few minutes, we had a massive reaction from the Colombian president, which we're going to get to in a second, because it's getting funny. For the record, don't mess with the Americans right now, because they are quite serious, and it's not just about President Trump, it's also about Tom Homan and all the others. Obviously, Tom Homan is in charge of the border now, and he doesn't mess around. Just watch this interview.
Is that going to be a constant commitment from the U.S. military every single day to take deportees out?
Yes.
So is this what we will see every single day, ending in what the president has promised is millions and millions being deported?
Yes.
Yes. ABC presenter, they're like, are you telling us we're actually going to have mass deportations? What about dignified conditions for these lovely criminals, illegal migrants? Like, yes, mass deportations, yes, that's what's going to happen. So that happened, right? And then, now I'm going to give you guys a context of what was actually happening over the last few hours on a Sunday afternoon in the United States, when the first part of the news came out that, well, deportations are about to happen to Colombia. The Colombian president has now blocked it. Where was Trump? And how did Trump respond? President Trump is a king of multitasking, let's just say. I gave you guys the bullet points of the policies he came up with last minute, the tariffs and the visa blockers and everything else. Where was he when he was doing that? Oh yeah, he was playing golf. So just to summarize the situation, Colombia rejects 2 military flights carrying the illegals, right? Trump is at the National Doral Golf Club in Miami playing golf. It's Sunday. He can do whatever he wants. And then he finds out. So he sends out that post on Truth Social imposing 25% tariffs on Colombia. Colombia quickly responds and offers the presidential plane to go and pick up the illegal migrants. Trump then posts his AI-generated photo on Truth Social, on social media, and then goes back to playing golf. So while that was happening, over the last few minutes, we have a very emotionally sensitive socialist president in Colombia who's not too happy about this. Gustavo Petro feels a little bit humiliated and embarrassed now, because basically Trump said, you surrendered, you apologized, good, don't mess with me. So now we have this statement from Petro. He addresses the president. Well, his just name, Trump, that's it. Trump, I don't really like traveling to the US. It's a bit boring. Sure. Yeah. A Colombian president believes that the United States of America is boring. But, he says, I confess that there are some commendable things. I like going to the black neighborhoods of Washington, where I saw an entire fight in the US Capitol between blacks and Latinos with barricades, which seemed like nonsense to me, because they should join together. I confess that I like Walt Whitman and Paul Simon and Noam Chomsky and Miller, of course, all the communists. I confess that Sacra and Vanzetti, who have my blood, are memorable in the history of the United States, and I follow them. They were murdered by labor leaders with the electric chair. The fascists who are within the United States as well as within my country. I don't like your oil, Trump. You're going to wipe out the human species because of greed. Maybe one day over a glass of whiskey, which I accept despite... Hang on, Trump doesn't drink, you idiot. We can talk frankly about this, but it's difficult because you consider me an inferior race, and I'm not, nor is any... When did Trump ever say the Colombians are inferior? What is wrong with you? Anyway, let's go back to the statement. It's funny. It's just complete emotional, mental breakdown during the statement. President Petro continues. So if you know someone who is stubborn, that's me. Period. You can try to carry out a coup with your economic strength and your arrogance, like they did with Allende. But I will die in my law. I resist the torture, and I resist you. I don't want slaves. Next to Colombia. We already had many, and we freed ourselves. What I want next to Colombia are lovers of freedom. He's literally a socialist, by the way. If you can't accompany me, I will go elsewhere. Colombia is the heart of the world. With all due respect, people watching this right now from Colombia, it's not really the heart of the world. It's nice people from there, but not really the heart of the world. Going back to Petro. And you didn't understand that. That is the land of the yellow butterflies, of the beauty... The colony, colonels and all the others, basically, blah, blah, blah. You will kill me, but I will survive in my people, which is before yours in Americas. We are peoples of the winds, the mountains, and the Caribbean Sea, and our freedom. You don't like our freedom, okay? I don't shake hands with white slavers. Racist. I shake hands with the liberation heirs of Lincoln and the black farm boys of the United States, black and white farm boys of the United States, at whose graves I cried and prayed on a battlefield, which I reached after walking the mountains of Italian Tuscany and after being saved from the China virus. He said COVID, but I changed it to China virus. They are the United States, and before them I kneel, before no one else. Overthrow me, President, and the Americas and humanity will respond. What does he think he is? The leader of Hamas in Gaza. Colombia now stops looking north, looks at the world. Our blood comes from the blood of Caliphate. What? Yep, that's true. Yep. The civilization of that time, of the Roman Latins, of the Mediterranean, the civilization of that time, who founded the Republic in Athens. Our blood has the black resistance fighters turned into slaves by you. What the... In Colombia is the first free territory of America before Washington of all America that I take refuge in its African songs. If you joined us late, in the middle of the live stream, I'm just reading the statement from President Petro of Colombia, who is having a bit of a meltdown right now. It keeps going. It gets better. My land is made up of goldsmiths who worked in the time of the Egyptian pharaohs and of the first artists. Great. You will never rule us. I don't think he wants to rule you, you idiot. The warrior who rode our lands shouting freedom opposes us. Our people are somewhat fearful, somewhat timid. They are naive and kind, loving, but they will know how to win the Panama Canal, which you took from us with violence. 200 heroes from all of the Latin America. Today, you lie in Panama, formerly Colombia, which you murdered. I don't think Trump did anything, by the way, for the record. He's talking about historic things. Can I just say, if he doesn't really care about the United States, he doesn't like America, doesn't like to do anything with the Americans, why does he continue to send cocaine to America? Stop selling coke to Americans. Going back to the statement, ladies and gentlemen. I raise the flag. Even if it remains alone, it will continue to be raised with the Latin American dignity. That is the dignity of America, which your great-grandfather did not know. And mine did, Mr. President, an immigrant in the United States. Your blockade does not scare me, because Colombia, besides being the country of beauty, is the heart of the world. He's just repeating himself now. I know that you love beauty, as I do. Do not disrespect it, and you will give it your sweetness. I'm convinced he's actually drinking whiskey right now as he's typing this, because he did talk about having a meeting over whiskey. From today on, Colombia is open to the entire world with open arms. We are builders of freedom, life, and humanity. I am informed that you impose a 50% tariff on the fruits of our human labor to enter the United States, and I do the same. Let our people plant corn that was discovered in Colombia and feed the world. So, in short, he wants to, I think he's high on coke right now, but he wants to impose 50% tariffs on the Americans. Okay. I don't think the Americans will be missing much, but I'm really concerned about him and his health right now because, again, if you might be surprised that why is he weird? Why is he going with historic rhetoric of pathetic, weird fiction and fantasy? As a reminder, President Gustavo Petro of Colombia, the socialist globalist, is a supporter of the Palestinian cause. So, are you surprised? Well, I'm not. Look at that face. I am a warrior. I will drink whiskey and do a line while I type my statement to you, Trump. White slaver, whatever he is, apparently. Apparently, Trump murdered his people for some reason. I'm not... what is going on? So actually, because this is still an ongoing development, there is so much to deal with because there is more reaction coming in live. Let's just quickly get the latest on this. We do have a statement from the United States. Yes, Marco Rubio has said, ending illegal immigration in the United States, President Trump has made it clear that under his administration, America will no longer be lied to nor taken advantage of. It is the responsibility of each nation to take back their citizens who are illegally present in the United States in a serious manner. Colombian President Petro had authorized flights and provided all needed authorizations and then cancelled his authorization when the planes were in the air. As demonstrated by today's actions, we are unwavering in our commitment to end illegal immigration and bolster America's border security. That was Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, while Petro is currently high and drunk on his own products. AB says, salute to your channel, sir. You're a great patriot. Then it says illegal. Super chat time first. Dasman, thank you very much. Saying, give the Viking free 2CTV YouTube access. Paul, that has gone great. We don't have YouTube access. Unless you talk about membership, that's not up to me. That's just Google. If you want to support the channel, don't become a YouTube member, guys. Become a 2CTV Plus member. You get more out of it. We actually have released a new show. The Net Zero Lies. This is the sort of show that we definitely can't post on YouTube. You know why. So we've done a proper expose of the net zero agenda. And if you want to watch that, the best way you can do it actually become a member of 2CTV Plus. Not YouTube, 2CTV Plus. By going on 2C.tv, you'll get 1 month free if you join on an annual level. Hopefully I'll see you guys on that side. The app is coming soon as well. I know everyone keeps asking. It's actually coming soon now. Very, very soon. Sums says that the Viking deserves free membership, Maya. Otherwise, it's me. Stop becoming member of YouTube. Stop giving money to Google. Become a member of Tutsi TV Plus. Go on tutsi.tv. It's also down here. There we go. W says, love Trump. I just wish European countries would start mass deportations of the Islamic migrants. It's needed badly. I agree. Cynthia says, Petro has forgotten the first rule of drug dealers. Don't get high on your own supply. Absolutely. The guy's not doing well. He's not he's not happy. Ivan says, the net zero lies is well worth a watch. Thank you very much, Ivan. What else do we have? Yeah, Colombia and BRICS. Good luck with that, by the way. Yeah, with BRICS. They're all falling apart. Anyway, let's go back to the rest of you guys. We have a super sticker from Gold Maria. Thank you so much for that. Let's go to some non-super chats while we are here. There are about 10 European countries with some sort of deportation plan, apart from the United Kingdom, obviously. Viking Dude says, Tutsi TV Plus is the nuts. That's a compliment. And we got big plans for Tutsi TV Plus, by the way, because we have to take things to the next level. We are investing everything we have into it now, obviously with the app coming soon. And by the way, I know I've been talking about the app for like 50 years, which is continues to say coming soon. But it's actually the fault of Apple. Blame Apple, not me, because the App Store on Apple is so bureaucratic, they just make things difficult. So once that's ready, you will see a whole new thing as well. But obviously right now you can just go on tutsi.tv or tutsitvplus.tv, get access to it, because we're going to have more documentaries. Obviously Sammy Woodhouse is doing a documentary on grooming gangs. We have another documentary coming in about the veterans being abandoned, and many other things in the future as well. Lilith says, I want Tutsi cosplay. Are you high on your supply, Lilith? We could try that. She says, how much is it? You can go on the link in the description, check out the website yourselves, but the price of it is just £5 per month, so that's all it is. Obviously if you join an annual level you get a massive discount, so that is the easiest way to do it, but yeah, definitely worth it. You will get access to a good platform. Now, the Spanish murdered millions of people, as well as giving the indigenous peoples diseases. That they were the massive slavery. Yeah, I love how some of the socialists in the South American countries, all the socialists are completely gaslighting the general population of this earth. Because they're basically saying, yeah, the Spanish that went to South America did nothing wrong. It was all just white people, the Anglo side. Really? Okay. I mean, we can also talk about more recent versions of South Americans. We can perhaps talk about Che Guevara. If Petro, as a socialist, is going around claiming to be an ally to the black communities in America, his hero, Che, didn't like black people. He didn't like books. He burned books. Don't get me started with gay people. It was basically like Gaza. So, not really sure what this idiot is actually on about. Anyway, let's go back to you guys. Matt Smith says, we speak the same language, we are the same people. Which language is that? I'm guessing English. David says, oh, where's the rest of it? Tutsi TV in Spanish. That would be great. Where we should be, well, we're going to be expanding the idea we have actually is to expand the channel in terms of different languages. Obviously, it's a global geopolitical news channel. We have a lot of people watching from South America to Far East Asia and everywhere else. So we got some plans in that regards as well when we expand the team. So that wherever you're watching from, you can actually listen to your language as well. Dave says, Tuesday, I hope to meet you in person on my visit to the capital on the 1st of February. Love your channel. Keep it up. Yes, 1st of February, don't forget. Oh, God, we only have 6 days to go. In case you don't know what we're going to do, next Saturday In London, we are out. We have another United Kingdom rally. We are going to be protesting in defense and support of the political prisoners in the United Kingdom, especially Tommy Robinson. So in Westminster, obviously. So make sure to be there. I believe they have actually released the details. We now have the route. I think we're meeting at Waterloo Station at 12. I think. I really need to know. I need to talk to my own assistant. I don't know what I'm doing. So yes, the route for the 1st of February. Is that it? No, that's not it. There we go. 1st of February, the route. Unfortunately, it's a video that I'm not going to play because it's just going to... There we go. I think we have the text. Nope. I thought it would be posted as a graphic, as a text on Tommy's account. It's not, for some reason. It's a video of Richard Inman talking. I guess I could just put it on the screen. That would be easier, right? It's a half-an-hour video. I'm not going to put that on. It's a half an hour. But we will be meeting at Waterloo Station from midday. The actual event starts at 2 p.m. in Westminster. Anyway, another super chat saying, thank you very much. Saying Trump is the American embodiment of F around and find out. Yep. There's a lot of weird reaction right now from the other countries in solidarity with Gustavo Petro. The Mexicans are kicking off again, which is not really a surprise because they think if they also join in with the tariff war, they're going to win. For the record, Mexico or Colombia putting tariffs on the United States has no effect. Doesn't really change anything. But the Americans putting tariffs on Colombia or Mexico, it has a massive impact. We know that. But again, if the socialists knew how economics works, then they would not be socialists anyway. So this is the latest update on the ongoing battle of borders between the United States and the socialist governments in Latin America. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Join 2C TV Plus if you haven't already. I'm Maya 2C and we are the media.